Okay. I got it. Whew. All right. All right. This is our new portable rack, version 2. A lot of people like the old video with the old case that was 6 feet long. This one's way more compact, has a lot more in it, and way more heavy. Let's show you guys what's inside. I'll pop off the front first. A lot of audio in this rack. All right, so setup process. Usually when I get on site, drop this on the table first, then I go over to my Pelican case. This has everything I need to make the rack work. Start off, monitors. You guys know these monitors. These are the super thin ones that we like so much. And what I did is I put these ball heads on magnets. I standardized on these ball heads because the magnet is decently heavy. It just sits like that on its own stand. So I usually just leave these attached. I have the iPad. The iPad, it is here for the Touchmix for either myself or an audio guy to run audio.
Quick pause.
Yeah.
If you keep going, you're literally gonna get out of breath the entire video.
I did not account for me getting out of breath. You can pause. Okay, other things in here, we obviously have all the microphones and in-ear monitors that I'll get to a little bit later when I talk about audio, as well as aux cables, things like that. And then I have 2 mounts, one of which is for this actually lighting stand. So this lighting stand here goes really high. And what I do is I just take this little adapter that I made. I think this is actually a speaker stand, or it mounts onto the bottom of a speaker. And then I can take one of our Blackmagic Pocket Cinemas, mount it right on top of here. The other camera I have in here is the Ronin. Yes, I transport it fully built, but I haven't had an issue with it yet. It's not usually balanced right when it comes out of the case like this, so I'll spend some time and balance it. I'll go ahead and I'll hook up everything. Last thing you need to know is that in the back of this case, I have HDMI cables. I don't know if we can get that shot. I have 2 of them here, already wired in the back of the case. And then these cables just go directly to these 2 cameras. I keep these little batteries. This doesn't have to be a specific battery. It can be any kind of battery. This guy can mount right onto the side of here. Usually about 4 or 5 hours, these batteries will power these cameras. Last few things out of this box, just some other cables. You know, I have an SSD over here, got the laptop, and then whatever mics I'm gonna need. For now, I'll just pull out a handheld microphone, maybe a lav. I have a bunch of extra stuff in the case, just in case I need it. So that's that. And everything looks like it's booting up. I got my mics, got the HyperDeck, the in-ear monitors, the ATEM, and the Touchmix should all be turning on. Super handy having a USB hub right there on the front. Power this guy up. Right, and again, I don't worry too much about the cables right in front of my face. I probably will get longer cables. The whole thing is a work in progress. This is USB-C cable. This goes into one of the USB-C ports on the back of this guy. The other USB-C port is used for an SSD for recording. All right, let's go through a walkthrough of this rack, top to bottom, now that everything's powered and turned on. The monitors, we already went over that. The Touchmix. Touchmix handles all of the audio in the entire system here. All of the microphones, the in-ear monitors, as well as a feed to the ATEM Mini Extreme, and it can all be controlled via an iPad down here. I can hand the iPad off to an audio guy, walk around the room myself with it, so that's really handy to be able to do that. The ATEM Extreme, which the entire rack is built around, not gonna get into like the functionality of it. Everyone already knows what this thing is and how cool it is, but I will tell you that I'm using currently only 3 inputs on it. I have my 2 cameras, as well as I have this HyperDeck down here, which is feeding it a constant loop. And I can, you know, connect via Ethernet to that and change what the HyperDeck is doing at any given time, but I don't use it for a record because this guy can record all 8 inputs plus my program all the time. Next thing down would be this power conditioner here. It's a Furman. Furman's a great brand. Happens to have a voltage meter on it as well as lights. Dark outside, you have paper, you have notes, you want to see them. Right under that, I do have a shelf, and that's where I can put maybe a stream deck, the notes, so I can see with the lights. Below that, we talked about the hyperdeck. I have this USB power hub. It's powering the 2 monitors here, as well as if I want to plug my phone in, I have other accessories, I could do that. The in-ear monitors, that's super cool because that's getting an aux from the board and using a little body pack guy here, I can actually create wireless speakers. So I don't need to run XLRs to my speakers. I still am a fan of XLRs over wireless, but this comes in handy if I want to be really fast or I have a very tight timeline. I can use something like our JBL Eon 1 Pros over there as wireless battery-powered speakers. I can get signal to them from here. A 3.5 to XLR cable will get signal into the speaker. There's no noticeable latency. When we talk on a microphone and it comes out the speakers, you can't tell that we're using an XLR or we're going wireless. The quality is not as good as an XLR, all right? Might just be these speakers. If I use other speakers, I might get it a little nicer, but I don't think those in-ear monitors can do real low end, at least not very well. It's kind of limited in its range. So know that if you're gonna use in-ear monitors as wireless speakers or to just get signal from one location to another, I don't think it gives the full range that an XLR cable probably would. And last, we have the Qlxd microphones at the bottom. We have 4 receivers in here, and I travel with 4 handheld microphones and 4 lavaliers. That way, when I go to a gig, I can just change what I'm using. I don't have to like bring separate mics or forget mics or anything like that. On the back of the rack here, we have a signal distribution amplifier for the 4 Qlxds, as well as a little patch panel just for the antenna for the in-ear monitors, as well as a power strip. I will be adding a network switch if anyone knows of a 1U, maybe 8-port network switch that also is a router. I couldn't find one. Really looking for one of those so that I can network everything together, including the Touchmix, and have one Wi-Fi network to connect to all of this stuff. The other thing I'm gonna add is a patch panel with probably some decimators so that I can go an HDMI out of the Extreme into a decimator, loop through for a monitor up here. Then I have that other SDI out for going to a confidence monitor or a screen or something like that. When I'm a one-man show, having a PTZ camera like this guy helps a lot, especially the ability to zoom, which a lot of people on our last video didn't think we could zoom. You simply just put the focus motor on the actual zoom part, and then you can zoom in. It is not a clean zoom, all right? So what I normally do is I will cut to my wide shot, I'll zoom into where I need it, I'll pull focus from the ATEM software, and then I will simply switch to that shot. It's a little touchy. I don't normally move it while it's on screen, and if I do, I'd probably be zoomed out as far as possible and keep it pretty smooth. Yeah, so that's the whole rack. Super capable. I'm using it for breakout rooms, obviously live streams. I can use it as my main system for a lot of conferences. If I'm gonna go virtual participants, it can handle it. The Touchmix can do all the mix minus that I need. The Extreme has a super source, so I can bring in virtual participants, make my boxes up to, let's say, 6 boxes. But if Blackmagic comes out with another switcher that's rack mountable, that has all the inputs, outputs that I want, I'll probably be replacing this Extreme, probably pull out this drawer, hopefully it's 1U, squeeze it in there, and I don't know. Blackmagic, can you make the Extremes be like a controller? That would be really nice. So then it's a controller and a backup switcher. Seems like a good idea to me. I do not condone lifting this by yourself. It's awful. I just grab someone to help me lift it usually, unless no one's around, and then I just muscle it. That's the system. It's how I one-man shows with this guy. It's scalable and capable. I can use it with multiple people, hand the iPad off. I can put this under the table on the side. I can stand with it. I can put the monitors here and sit down with the whole thing. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. If you're looking to get any of this gear, I believe we're gonna have links in the description. Yeah? Yeah, we have affiliate links now, so that's cool. I guess we're real YouTubers at this point. And yeah, that's the rack. Hope you enjoy. Thanks. I don't know how I'm gonna get the door. I don't know how I'm gonna get it all the way in.
All right, walking around.